Getting some breaking developments now coming in, and this is Udaynidhi Stalin, who still continues to remain defiant over his earlier remarks on Sanatana Dharma. This time around, he's gone on to say, and I'm quoting from what he said, President Draupadi Murmu not being allowed for the inauguration of the new parliament building is another example of Sanatana Dharma being discriminated. He's also gone on to reiterate that there is absolutely no question of him apologizing for his earlier remarks. He's also gone on to say, and I'm quoting once again, we have been talking about abolishing Sanatana Dharma for 100 years now. Who brought the reform to enable people from all castes to become temple priests? That's the question that Udaynidhi is asking. So as I pointed out, he remains defiant and he says there is no question of him apologizing. Let's listen in to what he had to say this time around.
He says you have to eradicate.
Example, the Honorable President Draupadi Murmu madam, she was not invited for the opening of the parliament. Right. That is the best current example. Thank you.
No question of apology.
Somebody's apologized to me?
They demanded your apology.
No, sorry. I can. This is not an apology to them. For a question. Thank you so much.
You can give what?
Let me also now bring in our colleague Purnima Murli, who is joining us on the broadcast. Purnima, even at a time when the opposition itself is divided over these remarks, many feeling this is a remark that could have been avoided, many parties like the TMC and others who've openly come out and condemned these remarks, none of that seems to be having a bearing on Udaynidhi Stalin because he remains defiant and he's categorically saying that there is no question of apologizing.
Absolutely. In fact, Udaynidhi Stalin continues to stick to his stance, says that there is no question of apologizing. He said this practice of Sanatana Dharma is something that they've been against and opposing for the last 100 years. So there is no question of in fact apologizing, and adds that there is social discrimination through Sanatana Dharma, and then cited an instance of President Murmu not being invited for the new parliament inauguration, and says that these are the practices that we are against, and therefore there is no question of apologizing. What I said on Sanatana Dharma is the same, and says that he wants to ensure that practices of Sanatana Dharma be eradicated, and that's what he continues to maintain, even as there are some national parties who are part of the India bloc who are still against the statement made by the DMK. DMK sticks to its stance and maintains that they will continue to speak against Sanatana Dharma, and there's no question of apologizing to those who've been hurt because of this.
Okay, Purnima, we'll have to leave that conversation there. Thanks a lot for getting us all those details.